Welcome to this panel. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. We are here. My name is Anne Moratha. Those of you that know me know that I'm a big campaigner of the boy child and the rights of a boy child. But I'm at the verge of giving up. Why am I giving up? I've realized that men don't change easily. And men at times care less of what is happening. The society became so much pro-women and men decided to sit back. There's so much that is happening in the world of women. There's so many parties for women. There's so many influencers in the women life. The government is also campaigning for women and equal shares in the government. But we realize men are still quiet. They're still quiet, not debating on anything. You don't even know what to ask them. You talk to the man in the house. When things get to the height, he will not talk. He decides to mute. And we are giving up on our boy child. But a panel of men sitting here this evening is saying, we are not through with us yet. We are just about to get to other men and ask them what is not adding up. So we have a panel of men around here who feel like there is still hope for men. We have one very noisy one, Professor Amu, yes, who makes noise all over, yet he has no solution for the men.
No, that's why I'm here.
Yes, now that you are here, tell us, what is wrong with men? You know, you realize men have a very boring life.
Yes.
Especially in this country. Yes. The only thing men would do is go to a nightclub. Yes. If not a nightclub, go hunt women. There's nothing else that men can socialize on. What is wrong with men? You know,
a nightclub is like Masai Mara for us. That's our watering hole. That's, we know. Kwa nini msurure huko nje na najua watajilete tu drinking water. That's where I come. And I find them at their lowest moment. Wakati their guards are down. Kutana na mrembo town. Asubuhi tunamfuata, mtazunguka naye akupeleke gara umrudishe town mzunguke na bado atakutoka. Ngoja jioni. Mpate hapo ndio amerelax ametulia, guards down. She wakes up tomorrow asking, na huyu Degwa ni nani? Hata wewe ukumbuki ni nani? So that's why men, you know, because we are instinctively, we are hunters. That's why we look for the easiest prey. And you know lions, Lions do not run around. They do not have the power to run. So they wait for a cornered animal. Cornered, ndio anaangusha. We are powerful, but very strategic. Ni vile saa zingine mzige na tuagushaka kabla tuagushe. Hiyo ndio shida yetu. That's our problem.
But don't you think men have lost it?
These are very timely conversation, to be very honest. But again, when you look at it, as much as I agree with my good friend that naturally we are hunters, but now we are now turning hunted. When you go to clubs these days, the guys who are being hunted are men. You know, unapata madem kama wewe sasa akona kijana yake ka benten ndio kamekaweka hapa Ruaka, anamlipia karent ka bedsitter 15,000, kana kaita jioni. The guy plays PS the whole day on a sofa. In the evening wa mrada anampigia, Amo, uko wapi? Anakuambia niko Kiambodo. Kuja siata mon. Amo ndio huyo anakuja mbio. No, umetoka kufanya kazi. So I think when you look at it, angalia Parliament's Day juzi. Amo uliandikiwa na mama Happy Men's Day.
Na nani?
And you see by design, iliwekwa Men's Day na Toilet Day. It tells you that these guys don't take us very seriously. And when you look at these conversations, wa mama, siku ya Mother's Day, everybody posts my mother, happy Mother's Day. But men, have you ever been wished happy Father's Day? It becomes difficult. So I think these are conversations that we need to have, but we need to have it from a point of, okay, we have identified the problem. Yeah. And we must involve women, because these are the people that we sit with every day. They are our mothers, they are women. Yes. You know, we marry them. If we don't involve them in this conversation, then we're going to lose it. It's very timely. The truth is the boy child is eroding every single day. The boy child siku hizi ndiye anaolewa, anawekewa ring, mwenye ananua ring ni dem, anakupropozia. Na kazi yako tu ni kulala na kula indomie. Na hii kazi yote unapewa tena utafanya na indomie kweli wa mrada. So it's a very timely conversation. We are losing it as men, and it's time we looked at each other in the eye. As much as we want to live with the pride, sasa zingine shukisha hiyo kanzu na angalia kama tuko na shida kweli. I was looking at something the other day. Na niliona on Men's International Day. They said International Men's Day because men constitute 76% of suicide. And when you look, the people who think about suicide are women. Women think about suicide, but men execute suicide. You get it? Women sit, mwanamke anaweza kaa hivi for 10 minutes. In the next minute anacheka huko anaongea na wamama. And that is why unaona wamama wanapigwanga kwa manyumba na wahami. Piga mwanaume siku mbili atakunywa sumu ama ingia kwa kamba. 85% of men consider homeless Ukienda kwa barabara saizi wale watu wako homeless sana ni wanaume. 85% in America and other developed countries is men who on the streets. 70% of homicide, people who kill their families are men. Homicide committed by men, 70%. 40% of domestic abuse victims ni wanaume. We don't talk about it. Unaweza pata hapa anacheka limo makofi asubuhi. Because men don't talk, wanaambia kaa ngumu kwa mwanamume. And are victims of most violent crime. 64% serve longer in prison sentence. When you look at all our prisons, all our wengi in wanaume, you know, at least to give a summary of it is that the men today have become the people who are bearing the burden of everything that's happening around us. Look at the government. Umesema serikali. The government is talking about women empowerment, affirmative action. Ukiangalia juzi mambo ya Senate. We are almost disbanding a government for the sake of women, the two-dad rule gender. Who is speaking for the boy child? When are we going to have a conversation saying now we are going to stop the economy of this nation to talk about the boy child, what the boy child is going through today? There are no jobs. Kiambu juzi tumesikia governor mwenye alikanyagwa nje kulikuwa na ile inaitwa kaa soba initiative is targeting men. So rather, I would say that men are becoming an extinct species, and we need to save them. Very soon ile kazi wanaume watakuwa wanafanya tu ni kutoa mbegu, hakuna kazi nyingine.
Eric, do you have hope? Is there hope? Do you think our men can sit and air their problems?
The fact that this conversation has started, and the fact that you have shot that question to us, and we are beginning to respond to that question, means that there is a lot of hope actually. But one of the things that we must say is that you know, most of the men here grew up when the women empowerment movement was very, very strong. And I think one of the mistakes that was done is that as women were getting empowered, there was nothing that was being done about the boy child. And I think, yes, as we begin this conversation of empowering the boy child, we have to be careful so that again we do not turn the boy child against the girl child. Because in a way there is a sense in which it was felt by the men who are growing up then, like, you know, women empowerment programs were actually programs to fight men. But the idea of a good society is where you have men and women working together. So the conversation should actually not be about empowering the boy alone. It is actually empowering the boy for the girl. That we realize that even if we end up with a very strong, very enlightened, very intelligent girl, at the end of the day, if this girl chooses the family way, you would want her to actually partner with a boy who is thinking straight, stronger and better than even her, to still offer the leadership that is required in the home. So I think there is a lot of hope. We should begin this conversation. We should encourage men to start coming together, discussing their problems, discussing the problems at home, discussing the economic problems. Yeah, badala ya mwanaume lose hope anaenda na huko kukunywa pombe finally anajiua. You know, we need to come together and begin to share our problems. Yeah, speak out. You know, they say that a problem half shared is a problem half solved. So I think there is a lot of hope. And we like your question and we'll be responding to you with actions because we are planning a few things for men in the coming few months.
Brian, do you think men will ever care? Men die with their problems. One man goes to the
Yes.
and one thing we can't do is killing the family, clearing with the children, the wife kills everybody, hangs himself and nobody lives to tell the story. Yes, there were men around who sensed this guy has a problem, but he never spoke about it. Do you think men will ever talk about their problems?
A time will come. Because once constituted as a platform, that men are also actioned on the availability or the possibility of sharing. And I believe that time is now. Me being young and me being invited, I was raised in one particular sense. Kaa ngumu, we ni mwanaume. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha ukae ngumu, ukae peke yako, utatoboa. But I was invited here today, and as young as I am, I came in because of one platform. I needed to hear, I needed to share, and encourage people out there to one fact: they need to listen. Men's Day passed in the other day, and institutionally we are wondering why together with the International Toilet Day. When I posed the question to the market, they asked me many things. Why? Do you know the most comprehensive answer I got that actually instituted and made sense was one. They were actually instituted on the same day simply because of one fact: that men cry in the toilet only. We cry hiding. Kwa hivyo imekuja ile nafasi. That is what you do. And so yes, that is why we are today. Yeah.
So you cry in the toilet because you've been told a man never cries. So nobody should see you crying.
Uonekane aje.
Professor Hamo.
Unajua?
Professor Hamo.
Utalilia chooni. Ni ukweli.
Professor Hamo, men in Mount Kenya have decided to go for so many hideouts.
Yes.
But these hideouts are bringing more problems than answers. Because they go and come out there very strong. But when they get home, mama anakutuliza tena, niatishe. Rudi mahali ulikuwa and you still go back to where you are. Do you think we are going to maintain that now that you want to raise the boy child? Are we going anywhere? Do you think we're going somewhere that after this we'll have our man getting back his voice, or we still come, talk big and then go back? And then put kama tu wewe venye unashida kupigia mdomo. Na ukiingia huko unakanyagwa unalala. Natulia,
kumbe komedi yangu ni kilio. you know, let me tell you. There is a statement in psychology saying that trauma has humor. Mtu amepitia trauma anakuwa na humor mingi. So unapata mtu alipigwa makofi. Lakini kwa baya ndio anatengeneza watu mbaya. Kwa hivyo inaweza kuwa I created a career out of the torture I go through. So thank you, my wife. Keep doing it. I grow bigger. But one of the things the narrative was that we are building the culture. But it pitted girls versus boys. So that was the wrong start. That was the wrong start. The first way we started it. Nikuonesha sisi wanaume ni wabaya. You know, this world is so chauvinistic. Men tu ndio nyinyi mnaongoza, sisi mmetukanyagia. But when you go to jails, we are the ones who are serving long-term jails. Those statistics tell us that men are already serving. One when you're wanaumia zaidi, they are men. But that one was kept under wraps. Tukaonesha tu sisi nyinyi mmeshikilia sana vitu mingi. But the truth is, men are still struggling. Now it's time to change the narrative kidogo. And I think we have a beautiful opportunity. Ndio maana unaona wanaume kwanza hapo kwetu Kiabu. Mtu anakuja anakaa kwa park, anataka kuingia kwa nyumba. Ndio anajua aliamshwa na kesi. Asubuhi niliamshwa na kesi. Niliamshwa na wewe hakuna sukari. Hiyo ndio niliamshwa na. Si ati baby niaje. No, unajua it used to be a woman ukitoka kwa nyumba anakubariki. Alikuwa anakuambia mzee, ngoja kufungulia milango, mambo mazuri. Chakula sasa hivi tunapewa aje? Unasukumiwa na mguu. Yaani hata kwa nyumba unaongeleshwa through proxies. Ni mtoto anatumwa. Hebu ndio muulize kama atakula na umekaa pale. Muulize kama atakula. Yaani you're no longer a man in your house. This is a level. Hawa watu wenye wana commit hizo homicide na nini is because they are fighting back. Mwanaume anajua he is a fighter. Lakini ukiingia kwa nyumba kuna mwagiliwa maji kwanza, na maneno. Ukiingia tu hivi kitu ya kwanza ni kesi zimekuwa huko kwa nyumba. Stima karibu ikatwe, sauti ya token kwanza hiyo. Walitoa wapi hiyo kitu? Kwa sababu intentionally inawachwa ikilia. Na ulituma 500 ya kulipa haiguzwi ndio uingie na sauti. Ni kama una park. Kama una park na reverse. Ukiingia kwa nyumba tit hiyo ndio ya kwanza. Kiuliza mambo ya token unaulizwa wanaume wengine wanakilipa au unakuwa wapi? Unajiuliza ile pesa nilituma kani okay, unatulia tu. Unajua uletewe chai? Unaona watoto wakikula nini? Anko yao wanapatiwa, wewe ukigojea. Wewe ni kama hoteli. Ugoje either uende buffet kwa jikoni. Ni kama sio a la carte wakuletea chakula ni buffet. So our women were pitted against men. Wakaoneshwa sisi you have to fight. Let me ask you, wakati corrupt men are the most corrupt people, sidio? Because we held those positions for a long time. Siku ile mulisikia tu mrembo mmoja ameiba kidogo, tulipiga nduru. Kwa sababu tunajua mrembo akiiba hakuna mali inaenda. At least mimi nikiiba naongeza kadem, najua machali naongeza wa kukula security. Wamuladha akiiba sasa hizi bilioni 3 anakula peke yake. Nije na hata wacha hiyo pesa atatumia sasa kukula prime minister wa Uganda. Atatumia kuendea mwingine. So ndio uchungu yetu because you are very crafty. So men need also to take over. We need to start knowing that it's not a fight like you said, Eric. It's not that we are pitting each other against each other. Ni ile tu tulisaulika. We are forgotten. Says if you walk into any company, wale watu wenye wako huko nje, very masculine people. Amen. Kwa sababu hapa Kiabu tuliambiwa wanaume, unaulizwa wewe unangangana na shule ya nini? Si uanze kuuza makaa pole pole. Huyu akisomea udaktari, akimaliza kazi ya udaktari, kabla abebe matawi umwandike kwako. Hivyo ndo tulianza. But the world has changed. Now you are needed to go to school. Our girls were going to school then. You go to any companies now. Igie hivi. Wale unakutana nao kwa gate mpaka ndani. Wale wanaosha magari hapo ni wanaume, vijana balubalu. Ukiingia ndani wale wana make decisions in nani? Walembo. Mimi as an entertainer, kama sina smile ya kupedeka, siwezi pata nikiibisha watu Jerusalem and ya party. Haki ya nani hiyo hakuna. Hiyo siingi. Siingi juu kuna HR anipedi. Hiyo gidhithi yake. It won't go well with the pictures and the parties. Not about the talent. So unless we start empowering men. Unajua an empowered man, hata kama anakaaga amekalia maisha, hata hawezi kukuhamu. An empowered man will never harm you. Kwa nini buffaloes, Buffaloes, wale lone buffaloes, wanapiga unajua wanapiga na wale wadogo. Ndio anaenda anajificha anakaa peke yake. Anashindaga na hasira. Akipata kitu anagonga. Kwa sababu ako na adrenaline lakini hawezi fanya kitu. Alipigwa mbele ya mademu wake. Alipigwa akuitwa kando akaenda akapigwa huko. Alipigwa mbele ya familia. So a man and this goes also out to ladies. When you fight your man's ego, when you step on his ego, one day you will need it. One day you will want that man and he will not be there. So sisi pia as men we need to start empowering our young men. Itabidi tukue conniving.
But that said, maybe we'd ask Bitok, don't you think the problem with our men is that they will never sit and not drink? If men sit together, the next thing they ask for ni muzinga.
Ni muzinga.
So when muzinga comes, in the next 30 minutes muko sawa. After 30 minutes mnaanza kuongeza volume. So ukiongeza volume hakuna mtu anasikiliza. So do you think it's going to be away?
Hiyo ni holy communion ya wanaume. Hiyo kwa muzinga ni holy communion. Tukae, tusalimiane, tuzungumze. Hata kuchukua kwa mahali where Amo left it. Unajua kitambo alikuwa anaamsha unaambia sweetie, amka breakfast is ready. Siku hizo unaambia sitaki umaskini kwangu. Unaamsha na teke. Toka sitaki umaskini kwangu. As a man you live already disoriented. Kitambo alikuwa anaambia daddy amka kisha kula breakfast, unaambia tai yako iko sawa, funga hivi. Go and win. Go and kill the day. Go and kill the day. When you living the house unasikia uko motivated, unasikia kabisa unaenda kukanyaga siku. These days you're living the house with a lot of inferiority complex. And that's why vile unazungumza ni kwamba men now have to find a place of consolation. And that place most becomes the alcohol. Just to evade the reality, because reality is too much. You cannot stand the reality. How do you stand reality when you've left the house watoto wako wana chakula? And your wife is not one of your cheerleaders. It's telling you, toka kwa nyumba enda utafute. Ukitoka hapa ujui mbele ni wapi nyuma ni wapi. So tell me, where else do you go? Unaenda utafuta pale chakula ile nasikia inaitwa Chrome. Ya 200 unapiga unachapa, at least unaenda off for some days. And you see, we are talking about also men who are avoiding home. Unajua kama vile Amo anasema kuna wanaume wengi wakifika parking wanajiuliza maswali sana. Wanajiuliza nipande nisipande. Kwa sababu anafikiri ile vita ameacha nyumbani ni crisis, unangojewa na simba kuja kurarue. And women these days are so shameless because we are facing men with a lot of antagonism. And Eric has mentioned it quite well. And I want to appreciate you, Eric, for thinking about this. Because these are conversations we must have. When they came and told us we empower the girl child, they never told us that we are empowering the girl child for all of us. They antagonized us against the girl child. They are telling the girl child the problem, the reason why you are going through this is because of the fallen man. It's because of your brother, because of your father who has not empowered you. The convention should have been, all right, this is how the society has been. It has somehow given the men a leverage. And you look at African societies, are very equal. Kuna hata communities zingine wanawake ndio walikuwa wanajenga manyumba. It never meant that the man is an equal. It only meant that the man has another responsibility that he can do. Other communities, the women who till the land. The men go out hunting. When you come home, kila mtu anakuja on an equal basis. But there is respect in between. There's nobody who ever told a woman, you need to disrespect this man because the only thing anafanya ni kutafuta sungura. Hata kazi yako ni kwenda ukimbizana na wanyama huko msituni, mimi nimeenda shambani nimelima. They appreciate that we all contributing in the same basket. And it's very important we have you on board. It could be easy to say tutafutana wanaume tuongelee mashida zetu. Lakini we cannot do it without the space of women. And this is what we are saying. Unless we start discussing empowering men, then we'll have a very imbalanced society. If we start today agitating for the boy child, tutaleta boy child hapa, girl child hapa kipale chini. Then we have another imbalance. Let's look at it this way. Unaona wakati sasa hivi hata kwa familia kuna kitu inaitwa power sharing kwa nyumba. Ati ukilipa stima, mimi nalipa chakula. Kama hujalipa chakula, wewe sahau. Tunakaa kwa giza. You get it? We need to go to a point where we understand that this is a partnership. Marriage is a partnership at life. But now you cannot live in the same house and you antagonize against each other. Lakini kama uleti hadi siwezi leta hii. Kuna wanaume wakati wa corona, they have lost jobs and they have suffered. I see stories every day of men who are suffering, who are doing businesses which have collapsed, and your wife was working as a secured salary. Bibi anasema wewe kama ulipe rent sahau zikanyage kwa hiyo mlango. Tell me what kind of a generation of men are we building? Inakuwa ni vigumu sana. And you are getting to a point whereby women are starting to see men as objects. The way they used to say men were seeing women as objects. It's now changing. The story is changing. Today's boy child is not a boy child who can have authority. It's a boy child mwenye anasukuma kando kando umuhumu. Hata tukienda saa hizi hapo kwa Eric kama kuna simiti unaleta unataka kujenga maridadi, ni nani atashukisha? Ni mwanaume. Why are we not sharing 50-50? Beba gunia ya simiti wa mrata, hata mimi ni bebe. So that we talk about equality. But until we get to that point, we need to understand that kila mtu akona strength yake. You can make decision somewhere, the other person can do something else. So that we have a balanced society. So Amurata, umeniambia kwa nini wanaume wanaendanga kwa chupa. Ni wapi kwingine tutaenda?
So I'm only asking if you can sit. Like now, we've sat with you here and talked a lot of logics. But you see, if you are sitting men alone, the next thing you ask is who brings mzinga, so that you can be able to funguke macho tuone vizuri. So mkileta hiyo mzinga, after 30 minutes mnaongeza volume. Mkishaongeza volume, you lose what you wanted to say. Yes, and now you see women, like now I do a lot of women events. Women will go for bridal shower, they will talk, they will do what they were supposed to do, and if they drink, they will drink later. Women go for baby showers, they do the event, they are done. Once they are through, now they sit. If they are to drink, then they drink. Women will go for chamas. They go discuss pesa, wagombane, wachokozane, ni nani aliiba pesa mingi, nani hajalipa murangano, nani sijui hajafanya nini, nani alileta madharau za bwana yake kwa chama. They disagree on everything. Then later, if they drink, they will sit and drink. You see the problem with the boy child. The first thing you meet, you sit. Wapi mzinga?
Different reasons. You see, women drink for a different reason. Women drink to commune. Like, okay, we are done. Tumefanya biashara mzuri, chama imeisha, tukunywe. For us, we drink to forget our problems. You know, women drink to celebrate their wins. Two different people. So for us, we drink to forget our problems. And that is why mwanamke atakunywa aendeshe nyumbani ende ngari nzuri, anakunywa wine ya 5,000, 10,000, champagne, you know, cheers. Tumechama imeingia vizuri, tumenunua maploti nini. Wanaume tunakunywa kusahau shida. Ukipatana na ambao kwanza akiona na kiroma anapiga kwanza half liter kwanza ananyorosha. Kiroma inaitwa kiroma. So different reasons. The reason tunakunywa kwa sababu tofauti.
Eric, do you agree with me talk?
I do not fully agree with him, because I think what Wamodara is asking is that therefore a solution. The fact that the men run to alcohol and some of them, worse, they run to drugs, does that solve our problems as men? And I think the answer is no, it doesn't solve the problem. Because then we've ended up with a society whereby we do not have sober men. Yeah. And if we do not have sober men, it creates a very dangerous cycle, because men are the best mentors for the boys. So it means that the way the boys will observe the father solving his problems becomes the same way that boy thinks his problems are going to be solved. So trust you me that we will end up with sons who think that if you're annoyed as a man, you go and take alcohol. If you are stressed as a man, you go and take alcohol. If you're too stressed, you can try something more harder than alcohol. And we will end up with men who now do even more dangerous things, because alcohol and all those things do not make men sober. So I think Wamurala is pushing us to a corner, because she's asking us, can't we come up with another solution apart from the mzinga?
We should, and we have.
Yes.
What is that solution?
And I think
Brian, you told us that if women would get a seat today, then they'll be done with men. That's the only string women are now attached to men.
The only thing left.
They are. It's not one among many. It's the only thing left. Just the seed. Yes.
If women can get pregnant, we are done. We are out of the picture. Trust you me.
Because it's like men accepted it. You see, like when they're talking about in parliament of how to bring in the girl child, and I don't know, the other day they were talking of holding men responsible for every children they sire out there, and the person moving the debate is a man. And I was almost asking myself, there are women who will do business. If I have a child with Bitok, I have a child with Hamo, I have a child with Eric, I'll sit in the house and all of them provide for their children. I don't need to work. So who will speak for the boy? Or how are the men going to sit and say, we've had enough? Muzungu drinks, Muzungu does everything. Muzungu has got very arrogant women around there, but yet they're able to create their space. What is it that our African men are getting it wrong?
Now, here we are, constituting a conversation that now we discuss, okay, what is the way forward? Is this a platform where we invite not only this panel, but other men to speak on behalf and your new ideas to be shared to the market? To be honest, I sit down sometimes and ask, okay, what next? Kukikaa ngumu, tunaenda wapi? And that is why an invitation to a podium like this is one that I would respectfully come and attend. Now, moving forward, we introduce a concept into the market. You had mentioned earlier, hey, look, the ladies are attending baby showers. They sit down, they talk. Wanaenda chama, wanaongea, they get solutions to what their problems have been, even for the past month when they have not met. They come in again and they have bridal showers. To be honest, when a man gets married, what do we have? A stag party to go and have fun, commute. Why? It might be and instituted that the last time we ever have fun. And that is why you find instinctively that some men do not look for that concept of marriage, because it came to be not a solution to the next half of the man, but it came to be now a source of headache. Okay? Now when we introduce, and Hamo will talk about it I think more diligently, what is the idea of the platform that we raised today? The Motorshawa. A celebration into even the small achievements that the men have today. Correct? And I think I'll pass it back to Hamo at least to constitute the same.
Hamo, there's a new concept in the market.
Kabisa.
A new concept that is telling men we can sit, yes. Let me not say we, I'm not. You know the other day,
wewe ni mtetezi.
You know the other day I wore a funny jacket. They have named it in Kikuyu Kako Tikashi Ubani. And I saw somebody commenting on social media.
Yes.
Wamrada is now not just speaking for them. She's one of. Yes, and it's very popular on Kiambu Road. Now I don't want to get problems with anyone. Now that you people have the solution,
yes,
and you feel that you can bring in a platform that can help men now sit and reason together. The problem with men is sometimes you want to outshine one another. Yes. But I think life has beaten you now that you can sit and now talk and say, where do we find our fun? Where do we sit, talk our way forward, and find a way of now getting, you see, as they said earlier, yes, or as Bitok had said earlier, when men want to move, they have to bring women on board. So whatever you are doing has to be something that is women friendly, family friendly, to bring women also on board. That is at some point you'll also be able to invite them to come and see what you are doing and how you are doing it, so that it is accommodated. Now tell us, what is this thing you are introducing in the market?
So because women, you have showers all the time, baby showers, bridal showers, and I'm glad you have put the story about stag parties. Hizo za mwisho. Hiyo hata unaoneshwa. This is the last time you're going to have fun. Ni kama unaingia jela. Ni kama kesho utasikia milango ya kamiti. Kwa baka. Baka hata the structure of it, ni kwamba they bring in girls and ladies hapo ndani mnajichocha. Pale si ati nini? You're having it for the last time. Because sasa kutoka hapo, this is the last supper. Kutoka hapo unakula chakula moja dunia mzima. There is no longer variety. It is a gloom thing. No balanced diet, no sampling imeisha lala leo. Na hata unajua binguni wamekuachilia nafasi. This wanaita ID kwa mahali hizi kesi. Kesho unaenda kuomba msamaha. So man, we were structured very rigidly, but the world has changed. And ndio maana hata pesa ya Kenya ilibadilishwa. Things keep changing, but we are still using old ideas to tackle our current problems. And that's why hata sisi tunataka shower. So we have come up with a shower. And for men who have boys who are at that age where they can enjoy your car, siku hiyo mkienda naye kutembea akiride hapo, ndio anakuambia ma story. So hiyo ndio anafungua roho kabisa. So we want to create a space where juzi muliona watoto walipatikana kwa orgies. Wale walishikwa. Inaitwa Mountain View. Alafu mtoto anaenda kutolewa kwa polisi, anauliza mama yake, why are you coming for me? Shida iko wapi? Because we raised them kutoka akiwa mdogo. Tunaenda nao bypass. Si unajua tunapita Kamakis. Tunaenda na watoto hapo. So bouncing castle iko next to the bar. Nikikunywa mzinga mtoto yuko pale, anacheza na bouncing castle. Akikuja kunichezea naambia watu vile kanajua kudance. Hako katoto ndio yako kanatwak. Na tunafurahi. Huyu hata ile wacha hii sasa kuna nyingine Kofi Olomide. Wewe DJ, lipa huyo DJ Kofi Olomide. Kanatwak mnafurahia, mna record mnaweka. Kana kame grow up kakijua ni hivyo. So we need to create a new place where sio tu mizinga ati imekukujia hapo. No, this is a shower because men I can simplify it further. Vile umesema women consult, we don't. When I'm dating you, I'm not dating you. There's a team. You have a conglomeration. Deep state. Ako na mradhe wake. Kuna mahali unaendaga Kitegera kudiscuss nani hii BBI about we are trying to build bridges with Hamu. Lakini unaona hadi bridge yake. Jusi miti yake si ya huko. And you talk about everything. Men, we talk about things we might do, not things that we do. Hatuongeagi kuhusu shida iko hapa. Hata unaambia nimekuona na Njeri. Nasema Njeri mgani? Na sasa uko na roho yako ushapaga haka ndio unaenda nako. Lakini huwezi ambia mabeshi wako. Hata mwingine anakuja na namba ya Njeri ndio unaanza kukasirika. You see, we have a problem. So we are creating a shower for men. Hii ni yetu wanaume. We need to start celebrating even the small achievements. Kadogo hivi hata akia nani ukinunua hata Probox tunaiendesha kama Range Rover na heshima inapatiana giveaway. Unajua Probox haipatiana nini giveaway inakuja na mama naturally. Yani ukiendesha Probox naturally unasikia kuoverlap kukanyaga maua hiyo
hadi nakujana na driver software
iko na software. But we want to instill something called enjoying every moment ya success. Ndio maana mtoto akizaliwa kulikuwa wanachinja mbuzi, wakifika rika fulani wanachijiwa, so that you grow up being celebrated. Men are never celebrated. Siku hizi una celebratiwa kama nini? Ndio maana hata tukilengwa birthday we don't even care. Mimi by the way, serikali ndio inanikumbusha, you have turned another year. We need you to file your report ya KRA. Thank you KRA for the things you are doing for us. So we are going straight to our new shower from Maridadi. Hii tutaenda kuwafungulia zaidi. Yes. So hapo ndio tuko. Yes, this is our men shower.
So we are basically saying Maridadi Motors is coming up with a program,
yes,
for men where they will sit and do a motor shower
and enjoy
a motor shower. Brian, do you think it's going to work?
Oh yes,
definitely. Because when you look at the space around, there's no other opportunity, and this is it. So will we come running? Definitely we will. Will we feel supported? Definitely we will. And you know what? It'll be a sober place where now we can actually have sober conversations in the direction of which is more positive. Unajua hiyo mzinga ikifunguliwa, labda ni mashida. Maybe it is the only listener. At the end of the day, where else are they to go other than the Maridadi Motorshawa? Ni wapi kwingine? Hakuna. Yes.
Everywhere else, our men are kicked out. Yes. Every other area, the interests are about women. So, Bitok, what do you conclude about this deal? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think men will find fun in vehicles?
I believe it will work. And at least we are beginning from the right place. We are accepting there's a problem. And for the longest time, we bandage the problems of men. You know, tunaona kuna kinonda, tukiona kuna usaha kidogo, tunaongeza bandage. We want to do a serious surgery on the issues of men. And we want to have this discussion real life. And say, all right, this is a discussion we are going to have without fear. Yeah. We are going to look at it. We are going to look at pornography. Men who are addicted to pornography. We are going to bring men on board who have overcome the same thing. Let's have real discussion, because the moment we continue bandaging the problems of men, utakuwa mguu yako ni kidogo kama ya amo. Lakini by the time you are done bandage ni ya katatu. And you've not solved the problem. We are going to do a serious overall on men issues. And we are going to involve women as well. Because if we don't have these conversations with women, and this is a challenge towards other corporates, because business should have some sense of humanity. You're selling to people who are depressed. Ndio maana unasikia accidents kwa bypass, watu wanaingia kwa miti ya stima. It's because we are doing business with people who have bigger problems that they're dealing with. And this is a platform for us to start having this discussion, saying, okay, this is what we are as men. let's start having this discussion. And there's something that Amo has picked up about how we are raising our boys. We need to start talking. There are men who are raising boys. There are some who are never raised by fathers. They never know how to be men. So we need to start speaking to these men as well. And we're going to say that we are not going to leave any man behind. If I'm not strong, hold my hand. There's a song that says that if you're not strong, I'm going to stand next to you. You know, when you're walking with a man, each one has one leg. If you combine two men, one leg, and they hold their shoulders, they're going to move forward. We're going to move, and we want to cheer our women and tell them be part of this conversation. Let's raise men who are going to be part of the solution in the market. And I think Wamurada is, these are very timely discussions. To be honest with you, we can discuss the problems day and night. We can talk about, men are going through this, men are going through this. But where is the turnaround? I believe this is where the turnaround is. Let's have these conversations. I really look forward to this. As Amor said, some little humor, some this and that, and we're going to shape the destiny of men in a very big way. Thank you.
So I'm thinking you need, viewers, you need to watch this space. We are coming. I don't want to say we are coming. I almost said I'm giving up. But I've started seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. These guys are saying they are ready to face it head on and face the men and tell them you don't have to die. There's a scripture that reads in the Bible that I will not die, I will live to speak of the goodness of the Lord. And we want to believe that our men will sit and live. Because if you watch, more if you watch on Inoro TV, when they bring the obituaries every evening, and all those old women who die, their third name is Motorshawa.
Oh, yes.
Because the husband must be dead.
Kitambo.
Yes, Kitambo. All those, you go check as they bring in the obituaries on Inoro TV. You check. All those old women coming there, very few have a husband that is living.
Oh, yes.
So we want our men to start living. So
And
that
all men who are
later in
dying are
life,
living
Motorshawa is the third name. In fact, even children could dare ask when all these husbands share one name. Because they are all Motorshawa. Could be. So we are saying we also want men who are not going to be at Gaire. They will be around for many years. They will live like Noah.
Yes.
They will live like, I don't know. Let our men live. Let's see ourselves burying our men at 90 as they go to speak and as they meet for Motorshowers.
Yes.
And let it not just be a story. Let it be something that is going to happen. Eric, we are looking forward to this time when we will see. We will be there and women will come, by the way.
Yes.
Women love a jacking project.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll still start hearing women also talk of the same. But before they get there, let them see that the men have occupied the space. Ama unasemaje wewe na hiyo mdomo yako?
I'm telling you, you have to take our space.
There's something I forgot to mention, Wamurada, about celebration. You see, women celebrate every win.
Yes.
Yes.
Every single win, women celebrate.
Yes.
Men are only celebrated when you're driving a big car, when you have acres of clothes and all that. We need to start celebrating our small wins.
Yes.
When you buy a bicycle, kanyaga na nguvu kabisa. You celebrate your zamana, you clap for you, and you tell you're going in the right direction. Let's start celebrating these things because unless we celebrate men, there's no motivation for growth. And you see, if you ask a woman today, an 18-year-old, unataka chale na kaje, anasema nataka chale na drive, chale ako na kanyumba, chale ako na kajob. Wale machale ambao wanatoka shule, ni nani atakaa nao? And this is a 17-year-old targeting a man who is 35 because at 35 is when you stabilized your life. Yes. And they are 17-year-old. What happens to men who are 17-year-olds? You get it? So, I mean, let's start. Hata ika brobox ukinunua. Tukupiga makofi. Man was brobox.
You know, women also celebrate. You see, women celebrate the river, yes. But they forget the source. You see, these bridal showers are about somebody is marrying you.
Yes.
Mutoto is about somebody made you pregnant. But the source is there.
The source must.
You're only talking about the harvest.
Watch this space. It is going to be coming live every month, but it's starting on the 28th of November this year, 2020, the year that has been a painful year. Maridadi is changing it for you. At the Maridadi Motorshowers, you be there when the men are introducing their conference. And I'm telling you, you need to trust this process. It's going to work. My name is Anne Moraza.
Very good.